from the 29th of May, 6 o'clock in the evening, there will be no movement until 6 o'clock of the 30th of May. No, I said no movement. If you say you're strong, you come out. Go and take money from Fulani and come and do it. First of all, they will write, maybe in Vanguard or something. They will write all that nonsense after writing. But then you don't know, come outside, I will see you. From 6 o'clock on the 29th, it is more than sit at home. This one is no movement. No, if cockroach mistakenly come out of your house, or if cockroach comes out of your house to cross the main road to the tree. So if you want to buy something to eat, you are going to buy that thing on the 28th. 28th you will buy it because 12 midnight of the 29th into 30th will be candlelight.
Welcome to my channel once again. I appreciate you wherever you are connecting from around the globe. If you are joining me from Africa, Europe, Asia, America, or Australia, I appreciate you very much for your contribution. I see your comments at all time. Continue to give your comments and also give a thumbs up to the video after watching. Thank you so much. I appreciate you wherever way you are contributing. Thank you and God bless you. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so you'll be notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you and remain blessed. Remember, always I come around to give you information on things that are happening in Nigeria, the contraption called Nigeria that is occupying some reliable nations like Biafra Nation and Odudua Nation. Those two nations are being occupied by the Nigerian contraption. And we'll continue to bring you information on what is happening in that Nigeria because it affects us. We are all in it together. So whatever happens here, I have to bring it to your doorstep so that we can be able to find a peaceful way out, a way that all of us will be free. We are only asking for freedom. We are not hating anybody and we are not fighting anybody. We're not asking for war. All we are asking for is a peaceful resolution of this problem. Revolution, referendum. As soon as we get our referendum, we can go our separate ways and build a nation that we can be proud of. Today, we want to talk about issues again on that contraption called Nigeria. A lot of things are happening. You can bet me a lot of things are happening. And some people seem to be very blind about the things that are happening in Nigeria. Some people seem to be blind. But there are a certain set of people that can see far. People who see things that are going to happen in the next century. People who see things that are going to happen in the next decade. There are people who have that foresight to see far. But some people don't cease to see beyond their noses. They only deal with what they are about to see now and they do not think about the future. That has been the nature of most people in that contraption called Nigeria. More especially the politicians. They have nothing to offer. They have no solution. They have no idea. They don't know what the future holds for each and every one of us. This is the situation we found ourselves in. And every now and again, we are all suffering because of this very situation. As you all know, the contraption called Nigeria is never one country. They are not one people. They are different ethnic groups, 200 plus in that very country, contraption called Nigeria, with different kinds of religion and different kinds of lifestyle. Some of them do not have any resemblance of any sort. Some of them don't have any resemblance, and there is no reason why they should be together for any reason whatsoever. But the British decided to put these people together, and up to date they are forcing themselves to stay together, even when the very agreement has ended. It was agreed after 100 years that this very agreement will be visited again and again. If the people decide to be together, they can remain together. If they don't want to be together, they go their separate ways. But the so-called 100 years have expired, yet the Fulani oligarchy, the Fulani cabals decide that we will remain on that same contraption the way it is. They don't want to make any amendments. They do not want to talk about it. They don't want to call anybody to discuss about it. They said that the unity of Nigeria is not negotiable. Who said so? Thank God for MAZI NNAMDI KANU. MAZI NNAMDI KANU came up and he was making a hell of messages everywhere. He was broadcasting day and night in Radio Biafra to wake people up. He broadcast radio, but it wasn't only the Igbos that were listening to him. It wasn't only the Biafra that was listening to him. Everybody was listening to Radio Biafra. Radio Biafra, through MAZI NNAMDI KANU, did a great work to wake people up, and people begin to ask questions. Today, we can no longer say that Nigeria is not negotiable. Today, people are talking about negotiation of Nigeria in public. They discuss negotiation of Nigeria in the national television in Nigeria. Negotiation of Nigeria is now a topic to be discussed. But if you remember years ago, you dare not mention it. Once you mention anything about negotiation of Nigeria, people like Obasanjo, people like Babangida, what do you call them, people like Yakubu Gowon, they will come out and tell you that the unity of Nigeria is not negotiable. Buhari will stand and boast with it and tell you that the unity of Nigeria is not negotiable. So many of them. Danjuma will come out and tell you that unity of Nigeria is not negotiable. But today, all of them are singing a different music. Danjuma himself have come out to say that people should defend himself. And if he can be truthful to himself today, if you ask him, he will ask that country to be divided and people will go their separate ways. People go their separate ways. But the pretense, a lot of pretense in that country, is so shameful that people cannot be able to tell them the truth. But I want to recognize some people. There are some certain set of people in that very contraption that saw the future, what it tells. But eventually, those of us who cannot see far, those who doesn't know what the future holds and who do not care to know, who doesn't have foresight, pull them down and make sure that what they are saying doesn't hold water. But whatever those people are saying, they see far, and those things they are saying comes to pass. I'm going to talk about a few of them. First of all, let us take on Awolowo. If you can remember about the history that we are told, you read about it on paper, you read it online, about the unity that Awolowo wanted to have with Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. From that very time, Awolowo wanted to unite with Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe to form a government, not with the North. Awolowo saw something. There was something he saw in the North that he refused to unite with them. Instead, he wanted to unite with Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. But what happened? Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, who could not see far, who couldn't see the future because of one thing or the other, either selfish interest, either pride or whatever, he decided to go and unite with the North. Instead of uniting with the Yorubas, those that have similar culture with you, I can say that is the source of the problem. That is where the problem started. During independence after independence. From all indication, Awolowo tried as much as possible to make sure he united with Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe to form a government. But Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe pulled out, instead went and merged with the North. And today, here are we are all suffering. I guess that was the reason why Awolowo did what he did during the war. He didn't want to spare the Igbos anymore. After all, the Igbos don't care about themselves. This is why I'm talking about the self-preservation. Awolowo saw something coming. He saw the Northern Fulanis and he knew that these people have nothing to offer. And there is no point uniting with them. Then he chose the right people, which were the Igbos, through Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, the southeastern part of Nigeria. But Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe chickened out because he couldn't see far. He couldn't see far. He couldn't see far. But Awolowo saw the future. Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe chickened out. What happened? Today, we are all suffering. What Nnamdi Azikiwe did led us into the civil war. And today, here are we still fighting for the same thing on how to break up, on how to be able to have our independence and have a voice. We are still fighting. Nobody is talking about it. Someone else I want to tell you about who saw the future that people could not be able to see. Another person that saw the future that no one else was able to see was Odumegwu Ojukwu, our general. The people's general, Odumegwu Ojukwu, saw the future. He saw it when nobody saw it coming. But everybody came against him. Nigerian government came against him. Even his own brother, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, again, came against him and refused to fight along with him. First of all, the Nigerian government came against him and called him names. You remember the popular Aburi Accord. Aburi Accord, that people are talking about it daily. It has become the talk of the day today. Aburi Accord, the agreement that Ojukwu reached with Gowon, what was the Aburi Accord for? That Ojukwu was pushing for. Every time Ojukwu was calling about Aburi Accord, Aburi Accord. And today, here are we today. The call that Ojukwu made years back. The call that Ojukwu made how many years ago? How many years ago? Check from that time from 1960, from before, during the time of war up to now. For how many years? The call that Ojukwu made during that time, it's what you people are requesting today. This is what some group of people in Nigeria are begging for today. Not even, they are now begging for something that Ojukwu saw many, many years ago. He went into agreement with Gowon and told Gowon this is a way out. Gowon chickened out. He didn't accept it. After reaching agreement, Gowon chickened out. But today, Gowon, we wish that he accepted that Aburi Accord. That would have been peace in Nigeria now. If Gowon see a way to make amends now, I believe he will make amends. But this was what Ojukwu saw that no one else saw coming. He cried out. He begged for it. He cried for it. He preached it. Nobody listened until it led to civil war. You know what happened? The southeastern part of Nigeria lost 5 million people plus. 5 million plus. And we are still losing up to today because of that very thing that was rejected. Something that Ojukwu saw very far away and spoke about it. Nobody accepted it. Including his own brother again, the Zik we are talking about, refused to support him. He was still talking about the one Nigeria that we are crying for today. Ojukwu got the solution then. A very wonderful solution that would have solved the whole problem that we are talking about today. Nobody listened. People chickened out. Everybody called him names. People went their separate ways, doing whatever they care about.
We have tried to live a Nigeria designed by Great Britain and handed to us. We have found it difficult to live in that Nigeria. We have fought a civil war, killed so many people, and still we have the same problems reoccurring. Perhaps the time has come to revisit the very foundations of.
And here are we today, asking for that same thing that Ojukwu asked for. That same thing with which you decided to go to war against the Biafrans, and many lives were lost. May the soul of all those who were killed during the Biafra war rest in peace. On 30th, we are going to remember them. And remember what MAZI NNAMDI KANU said, that the watch night service starts from 29th, 6 p.m. 29th. There is no movement. This time is not sit at home. If you think it's a joke, come out. Whatever you see, you take. Trust MAZI NNAMDI KANU. He doesn't miss word. And whatever he's going to do, he tells you first. On the 29th of this month, 29th of this month is the remembrance of those who lost their life during the Civil War. And those who are still losing till now. The remembrance is on 30th, but the eve start on 29th. On 30th, but the eve start on 29th in the night. 29th, 6 p.m. No movement. This is not sit at home. No movement. This is not sit at home. If you think it's a joke, come out. Whatever you see, you take. It is not a joke. When you talk about respecting the dead, we are talking about the dead. It is not a joke. For those of you who think it's a joke, you think he's ranting, continue deceiving yourself. Continue deceiving yourself, then come out. It doesn't matter where you are. If you are in the southeast, if you must travel to the southeast, make sure you travel to the southeast before 6 p.m. on 29th. If you are coming from abroad and you enter within that period, stay abroad. Do not go to southeast. Stay wherever you are. Don't go to southeast until after 30th. That is the instruction. If you want to disobey it, go ahead and disobey it. What you see, you take. When we talk about the people who lost during the Civil War, it is not a joke. Since the Nigerian contraption have refused to honor or respect the people they killed, the innocent children that they murdered, we have taken it upon ourselves to respect them and remember them. And it is coming up on the 30th. The eve starts from the 29th. 6 p.m. 29th, no movement. Whatever you need to buy, whatever you need to shop, do it before 29th so that you can stay home. Stay indoor until 30th. We are going to mourn our dead and do the candlelight for them. That is the instruction. I am going to play the jingle from tomorrow. I'll get the jingle and continue to play it so that I will remind you so you wouldn't say you forgot. So back on our discussion. This was how we got into the Civil War. Because somebody saw something that no one else saw. And today, here are we. We are begging for the same thing. That same thing the Ojukwu saw years back. That is what we are asking for today. the Aburi Accord, asking of what you call it, they say it is restructuring. The restructuring that they are singing as a music that some of them pretend not to know. Buhari doesn't know the meaning of it. All the northern elites say they don't know the meaning of restructuring. They pretend not to know about it. This was the revelation that Ojukwu gave to the South right from time. I wish that very time the whole southern part of Nigeria, including our Yoruba brothers, I wish the Yoruba brothers supported Ojukwu during that very time to stick on that Aburi Accord. By now, these things that happen are not going to be happening. They chicken out for some selfish interest, for whatsoever, nobody knows. And that is gone. And today, we are here again. We are here again, another person who sees it far. Somebody who sees what you cannot see. It doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter your education, it doesn't matter how spiritual you are. Today, we are now blessed with another man, MAZI NNAMDI KANU. We are once again blessed with another man, MAZI NNAMDI KANU, who sees tomorrow. And Nigeria is missing that chance. The South is missing that chance again. What MAZI NNAMDI KANU is preaching now, the breakup of this very country, which is the solution, some Southerners begin to ignore it. After people must have lost their life and so many properties must have been lost, then you will come back to this very breakup that MAZI NNAMDI KANU is talking about. Another man that sees tomorrow. Another man that sees tomorrow. You can hate him for all you like. You can call him names for all you like. Call him whatever you like. But he has spoken and he gave the word. And everything he continued to say from day one to today have all come to pass. You can deny it. The records are there for everybody to see. Every message that MAZI NNAMDI KANU have been preaching from day one to today have all come to pass. No one, not even one, didn't come to pass. Another chance for the South. God has provided someone else again who saw tomorrow, who sees what is going to happen in the next decade. And today, he brought the solution, which is break up, everybody going their separate ways, and nobody is listening. Some fools from the Southeast are still there, talking about restructuring. Some from the Southwest are still talking about restructuring. Another man is speaking. Another voice is speaking. Just like Awolowo spoke to Zeke. Zeke refused to listen. He joined the Fulani cabals. Zeke went and joined the Fulani to form a government instead of forming with Awu. Ojukwu came and talked about Aburi. Nobody listens. The Nigerian government came against him. Everybody united together to fight against Biafra. Another man is speaking, MAZI NNAMDI KANU. The new savior of the new generation. He has come. He's offering the solution. Not just offering the solution, he's working towards it. Instead of you supporting him, what you do is to pull him down, to talk rubbish about him, to say all manner of things against him, to propagate lie against him. But thank God for the kind of a person we have this time around, MAZI NNAMDI KANU. He's not just speaking, he's going to make it come to pass. Biafra must surely have their independence. It doesn't matter what you think, it doesn't matter what you say. Biafra must surely have their independence. To show you that some people still cannot hear. Some people have eyes they cannot see. They have ears they cannot hear. I will share with you a video that somebody who called himself, what do they call him? I don't know the post they gave him in the Senate. They say he's the vice Senate president, who is assisting the Senate president. Omo Agege from the so-called Niger Delta. I will show you the interview that was granted about your restructuring and your constitutional amendment. Omo Agege, who knows that this very discussion concerns him. He is from Biafra land. He is from southeastern region. The discussion concerns him. He is insisting there will be no change of constitution. Instead, they are going to amend the old one. That old one, they will amend it as many times as possible. That is what he himself is pushing for. Amending the constitution as many times as possible. He's not even talking about calling a conference for people to speak their mind and have people's constitution. Even if he was talking about a people's constitution, it is even understandable. He is insisting that nobody should be talking about any constitution, new constitution, that they are going to amend the old one as many times as possible. Hear from him directly. Then you know the kind of morons you have in the southeastern part of Nigeria as your lawmakers. See the kind of morons you have as politicians in the south. People who are speaking for you in the south. This is the kind of mindset they have. When they have a messiah telling them what should be done, they are doing a different thing. Hear him out. Then we come back.
First and foremost, let me talking about the issue of recurring amendments. We borrowed our system from the United States of America. Even the US from whom we borrowed this system continue to amend their constitution. The last time I checked, I think we have like about 27 amendments. Now, what that tells you is that from the outset, they knew that they were never given a perfect document. Nobody ever has a perfect document. That is why they believe this incremental amendment, that at some point going forward, they will come to near perfection. Now, the framers of our own constitution, under Section 9 of the Constitution, also anticipated that a time will come where there will be several agitations like we have today, questioning some issues in the Constitution, and they made allowance for how we should address that. Frankly, I was actually looking to hearing a question regarding the positions taken by so many key stakeholders, including recently, I believe, the chairman, the president of the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, who was canvassing the position that we should not even have the amendment process, that we should just come up with a new constitution. It doesn't work that way. At the frame of this constitution, we have our framers. At the time we put them together, we believe that we assembled the best brains to do this job. And they provided the only mode for the alteration of the constitution. Alteration, not rewrite of the constitution. Not outrightly jettisoning the constitution and then producing a new constitution. All they provided for was incremental alterations. And no, sir, this is not a jamboree. By the time we succeed with this, God willing, it will be the 5th alteration. Is that correct? Yes. It will be the 5th alteration. What that means that we've had the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th. So no, it couldn't have been a jamboree. It will be incremental. Now, what's the guarantee that the president will sign? It depends on the bills. Because the president, as the head of the executive, with his Section 5 powers, also has a right to decide what to support and what not to support. While we exercise our Section 4 rights, complying with Section 9 of the Constitution to put together the bills for him. I haven't had the concurrence of the approvals of 2/3 of the houses of assembly. He could decide, he will sign, give his assent, or he could decide not to give assent. But he's given assent in the past. I think the one that I remember very well is the not too young. That was part of the last exercise. He came from this National Assembly as well. Will you call that the jamboree? He did sign. It is my hope and expectation that most of these bills, depending on what they are, and depending on how fast they go through the process, that he will sign that. That's one. And then two, were you that raised this issue of the electoral reform? Oh, okay. Now let me come to that. Now this issue of the electoral reform is, I can tell you, as a key stakeholder, a major stakeholder in that committee, I can assure you that the electoral reform amendment bill is pretty much ready. And it is the Senate President is contemplating when we will bring it on board. It is our hope and expectation that we take the PIB first, and after the PIB, we'll bring it to the floor for consideration. We're pretty much ready. I can assure you, I don't want to make news with this, but before we go, on recess, all of those bills, the electoral reform bill and the constitutional review exercise bills, we put a vote, on the floor, and we send to Mr. President for his accent. And as far as the constitutional review is concerned, what we have done here, we try learning from our experiences in the 8th Assembly. We try to bifurcate these bills, so that we don't make it by way of poison pill, either all or nothing. So there will be bills that the president will like, won't have any problem with. he will sign. There could be others he will be uncomfortable with and decide not to sign. But that will not, at the end of the day, invalidate everything. So I can assure you that we are alive to our responsibilities, and I also believe that the President is alive to his, with respect to these two major pieces of legislation. Thank you. There was some, I think, how many memos did we receive? I said 250 memoranda. I'm sure I said that in my opening. And why isn't there a joint hearing? We had clamored to have that with the House, but their calendar was such that they couldn't accommodate that. But I do understand that maybe next week, I think they have a security retreat, I believe, and immediately after that, they were also going to the fields, you know. But I can assure you that the committees, the consultants, are working jointly in reviewing the bills so far. I can assure you, at least for now, there's little or no differences so far with respect to the thematic areas we have zeroed in on and the bills that could possibly arise from there. We're working in consonance with them. We would have loved to have a joint hearing, but our calendars have not permitted that.
You have heard and seen from him. You have seen it. But thank God that MAZI NNAMDI KANU is a man who have decided to sacrifice his own self for his people. And he's doing everything possible to make sure that whatever he's working for, whatever he's telling us is coming to pass. He's not just telling us anything, he's just not saying it, he's putting word into action. And ESN is doing the work in the bushes. Pray for ESN. Pray for ESN wherever you are. Pray for them. Continue to pray for them day and night. As we are going for our remembrance, the ESN have lost many people. We know we lost our commander some time ago. Pray for the family. Pray for MAZI NNAMDI KANU, for God to give him wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to continue to lead us to our freedom. Also remember our Odudua brothers in your prayers. Sunday Igboho, remember him in prayers. I know there are a lot of attacks against him. There are a lot of attacks coming to him. A lot of challenges coming to him. Pray for him, for God to give him the strength to be consistent. Give him word, put word into his mouth to speak, and let him continue to fight the right battle as he's doing right now. Thank you so much for watching wherever you're watching from. I appreciate you. Kindly subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed. Click the notification bell so you'll be notified each time I upload a video. Go to the comment section at all times. Give your comments. Say your views. Whatever contribution you have to make it at the comment section. It's all welcome. Thank you and remember us. Bye-bye. See you again on the next video.